just telling the truth. And I don't understand what your problem is with me other than the fact that I am under your skin.
Did Blake Lively seriously believe she could hide this feud forever? Buckle up, because Scarlett Johansson just entered the battle, and she's pulling no punches. Explosive evidence has emerged that threatens to shatter Blake's carefully constructed image. How did Scarlett uncover these shocking receipts? And why is Blake desperately trying to bury the story? Grab your popcorn, because this Hollywood showdown is heating up in ways we never expected. The legal battle involving Blake Lively has intensified into a complex controversy, spotlighting the intricate dynamics of celebrity power, aggressive legal strategies, and sensitive leaked information. At the heart of the dispute are subpoenas filed by Lively's legal team against Justin Baldoni, which sought extensive access to phone records, text exchanges, location history, and private medical details covering more than 2 years. Upon reviewing these expansive demands, the presiding judge rebuked Lively's attorneys, deeming the subpoenas excessively intrusive and unjustified. The judge criticized the efforts as an apparent attempt to probe Baldoni's private affairs rather than gather pertinent evidence related directly to the case. This judicial reprimand compelled Lively's team to significantly narrow the subpoena request to a time frame of only a few months and left them publicly embarrassed in court proceedings. The legal battle involving Blake Lively has intensified into a complex controversy, spotlighting the intricate dynamics of celebrity power, aggressive legal strategies, and sensitive leaked information.
Pulling out these clips, and suddenly there were these headlines, and people were just very upset with Blake Lively and started stringing together her pattern, okay?
At the heart of the dispute are subpoenas filed by Lively's legal team against Justin Baldoni, which sought extensive access to phone records, text exchanges, location history, and private medical details covering more than 2 years. Upon reviewing these expansive demands, the presiding judge rebuked Lively's attorneys, deeming the subpoenas excessively intrusive and unjustified. The judge criticized the efforts as an apparent attempt to probe Baldoni's private affairs, rather than gather pertinent evidence related directly to the case. This judicial reprimand compelled Lively's team to significantly narrow the subpoena request to a time frame of only a few months and left them publicly embarrassed in court proceedings. The dispute began with Lively's lawsuit alleging that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign against her, harming her reputation and forcing her onto the defensive. However, the case took a dramatic turn when an audio recording featuring Ari Emanuel, CEO of the influential talent agency WME, was played in court. In the recording, Emanuel allegedly admitted he fired Baldoni at the request of Lively and Ryan Reynolds, even dismissively mispronouncing Baldoni's name. This disclosure severely undermined Lively's position, shifting public perception and suggesting that she and Reynolds might have been using their influence to marginalize Baldoni rather than being genuine targets of his alleged attacks. According to eyewitnesses in the courtroom, Blake Lively appeared on the verge of panic the instant the leaked audio was revealed.
The times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing, those are the times where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men.
Initially, she seemed poised and confident, likely believing her celebrity status and powerful legal team would smooth her path through the case. However, the judge's sharp rebuke of her extensive subpoena requests, combined with the explosive revelations in Ari Emanuel's statements, triggered what observers described as a noticeable breakdown. Witnesses noted that Lively visibly tensed, urgently conferring with her lawyers and displaying unmistakable signs of distress. Even her legal team appeared stunned by the court's blunt dismissal of their rationale for accessing Baldoni's personal records dating back as far as 2022. Critics quickly highlighted a troubling inconsistency. The alleged smear campaign cited in the lawsuit was said to have begun in mid-2024, leaving unanswered questions about why Lively was pursuing private data from more than a year earlier. The court's decision to permit a future hearing to be broadcast via live audio has only intensified the sense of a case spiraling out of control. Typically, high-profile celebrities shape the narrative through carefully managed media leaks and controlled statements, but live audio ensures that the public will hear every word spoken in real time without edits or spin. Observers see this as a game-changing moment, delivering a serious blow to Lively's ability to control how her case is perceived. If additional damaging revelations emerge, or if her legal team pushes for more invasive demands, there will be no Hollywood filter, just raw, unvarnished courtroom proceedings.
Plantation Khaleesi is quite the nickname for Blake Lively. So he posts this video, and then it gets taken down from TikTok on February 6th, right?
For someone whose career hinges on a meticulously crafted public persona, this level of unfiltered exposure could pose a significant risk to her reputation. Adding to the atmosphere of crisis is the startling decision by Lively and Reynolds to bring in Nick Shapiro, a former deputy chief of staff at the CIA, to handle the public relations fallout of the case. Rather than relying on a traditional Hollywood PR expert, they turned to someone with deep experience in intelligence and media control, a move that many see as a sign of mounting desperation. Shapiro's history of managing high-stakes, politically charged controversies where shaping public perception was crucial has fueled speculation that Lively is preparing an aggressive media strategy to shift the narrative in her favor. Critics argue that this approach signals an unprecedented level of damage control, blending entertainment industry crisis management with government-style spin tactics in a way rarely seen in a Hollywood legal battle. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds, known for his sharp-witted humor and lively social media presence, has remained noticeably silent. The actor, who typically engages millions with his cheeky remarks and viral jokes, has refrained from commenting on the lawsuit, the subpoenas, or the leaked audio. His absence from court, coupled with his refusal to address the controversy publicly, has fueled speculation about whether he fully backs the legal strategy or is strategically distancing himself to avoid reputational fallout.
For me, it's most important to take the time to make sure it's the best it can possibly be, because it doesn't matter. I mean, I acknowledge I have a massive unfair advantage, but
from the narrator's perspective, Reynolds' silence creates a striking contrast. An entertainer who usually thrives in the limelight, now seemingly retreating into the shadows, while his wife faces intense public scrutiny. The stark difference between his usual outspoken persona and his current quiet demeanor raises questions about where the couple's true priorities lie when confronted with real controversy. Observers are also scrutinizing the shifting social dynamics within Hollywood as this conflict unfolds. Notably, A-listers who have long been associated with Lively, ranging from her high-profile squad acquaintances to female celebrities who previously voiced their support, have remained conspicuously silent. Gossip columns have particularly noted Taylor Swift's lack of public comment, despite her well-documented friendship with Lively's family. The narrator interprets this as a telling indicator that many in the industry recognize the risks of aligning with someone facing allegations of blacklisting and manipulative tactics. In a world where reputations are everything and alliances shift swiftly, most prefer to quietly distance themselves rather than risk being drawn into a legal and PR firestorm. An even more unsettling aspect of the case is the apparent fear among potential witnesses. Reports suggest that individuals who might otherwise provide critical testimony are hesitant to speak out against Lively, fearing professional repercussions. Lawyers affiliated with Baldoni's side have hinted that some key figures with relevant knowledge
and that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively, it's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds.
Worry that going on record with unfavorable accounts could damage their careers or limit future opportunities in Hollywood. If true, this suggests a striking power imbalance. Despite her legal troubles, Lively may still possess enough industry influence to discourage testimony against her. From an outsider's perspective, this challenges the notion that she was merely a victim of Baldoni's alleged smear campaign, instead portraying her as someone who still wields considerable behind-the-scenes power. Further complicating the narrative is the backlash from conservative media figures like Candace Owens, who has openly criticized Lively and Reynolds for allegedly leveraging their power while maintaining a polished image of philanthropy and social advocacy. Owens cast them as prime examples of Hollywood hypocrisy, privileged elites who publicly champion equality and fairness, but, behind closed doors, allegedly manipulate the industry to serve their own interests. While Owens remains a divisive figure whose rhetoric often sparks controversy, her remarks struck a chord with those who already questioned the sincerity of celebrity activism. The narrator contrasts Lively's well-curated philanthropic persona with the emerging portrayal of someone who allegedly played a direct role in creating a hostile professional environment for a fellow actor. According to the leaked Ari Emanuel recording, Lively and Reynolds weren't just passive bystanders as Baldoni faced setbacks. They allegedly pushed for his removal. This revelation, the narrator suggests, exposes a stark contradiction. How can Lively position herself as an advocate for fairness and equal opportunity while being linked to an alleged effort to derail another performer's career?
It's ridiculous. This is free speech. He said allegedly. He didn't say, like, this is confirmed. He said exactly how he heard it as a source. This is what, like, journalism is called. This is what you do when you report.
As news spreads of the court slashing Lively's subpoenas, the once defiant stance of her legal team appears to be shifting into a frantic search for alternative strategies. Recent court filings suggest they may be pivoting toward issuing new subpoenas or targeting peripheral third parties, a tactic that critics view as an attempt to dredge up distractions rather than address the damning leaked evidence implicating Lively and Reynolds. How the judge will respond to these potential maneuvers remains uncertain, but given the court's prior reprimand, many expect further demands for focus and specificity rather than another fishing expedition. At the core of this legal battle lies a pivotal question. Which version of events will ultimately take hold? One narrative casts Lively as a wronged actress battling an orchestrated smear campaign, while the other portrays her and Reynolds as industry power players who use their influence to sideline Baldoni behind closed doors. The narrator asserts that the leaked Ari Emanuel recording provides nearly indisputable evidence of the latter, reinforcing the idea that Hollywood's top figures don't make major career-altering decisions in isolation. If the case progresses and Baldoni can substantiate claims of tangible harm inflicted by Lively's alleged actions, a legal ruling confirming blacklisting could carry immense financial and reputational consequences.
It's so much harder to catch up. So I really think it comes down to quality and conviction. And that's sometimes hard as a woman because, you question if you're being...
Lively's courtroom breakdown has quickly become a pop cultural spectacle, fueling widespread fascination and debate. Social media erupted with reactions as users latched onto the contrast between her carefully curated red carpet image and the stark reality of her losing composure under legal scrutiny. Memes portraying her as an out-of-touch Hollywood elite have gone viral, with growing commentary suggesting that if she indeed played a role in sidelining Baldoni's career, it severely weakens any moral high ground she claims. In an era where public figures are dissected in real time, live tweeted, and turned into viral moments, Lively's reputation faces a serious long-term threat unless she can present undeniable proof of her innocence. All eyes are now on the upcoming hearing, which will be broadcast live for the world to hear. No matter how sophisticated Lively's PR efforts may be, the raw reality of an unfiltered audio feed leaves little room for spin if further damaging revelations emerge. The narrator speculates that unless Lively drastically changes course, more public embarrassment could be on the horizon. While settling the case, limiting exposure, or attempting to shift the narrative remain possible options, the decision to enlist a former CIA operative suggests a different approach. Rather than conceding, Lively appears poised to fight aggressively and control the media's perception of the case. Though whether this strategy will succeed remains an open question. What makes this legal battle particularly volatile is how deeply personal it has become. A standard defamation lawsuit typically revolves around proving specific falsehoods.
Blake Lively was so awful to me when I've interviewed her that she made me want to reconsider my career.
But this case has expanded into a far-reaching controversy involving allegations of blacklisting, secret recordings, major talent agencies, media hit pieces, and even fears of professional retaliation. Each new revelation, such as the sudden disappearance of a podcast episode where Emmanuel allegedly discussed key details, adds to the suspicion that powerful players may be working behind the scenes to suppress damaging information. To critics, this no longer resembles a routine Hollywood dispute, but rather a full-blown political-style scandal. The relentless media coverage has raised questions about whether Lively's career can withstand the ongoing scrutiny, especially if the judge continues to reprimand her legal team and more incriminating evidence comes to light. Hollywood has a well-documented instinct for self-preservation, and when public opinion turns sour, the industry is quick to cut ties. Insiders may already be creating distance, reluctant to stake their reputations or financial interests on defending Lively in what increasingly appears to be an unwinnable fight. The narrator points to the silence of those once considered close allies, friends, and industry figures who might have publicly supported Lively in the past, as further evidence that her influence may be waning. At this stage, the case has spiraled beyond the confines of a typical defamation lawsuit, taking on a momentum of its own. There is no simple exit unless Lively withdraws or significantly revises her claims, both of which would signal a strategic miscalculation or an outright concession.
So her reputation, you could say, last year completely tanked. But then suddenly, right before Christmas on December 20th, Blake Lively filed a complaint.
Any attempt to downplay the situation as a minor legal hiccup seems unrealistic, given the federal judge's pointed criticisms and the extensive media coverage dissecting her legal team's missteps.
And he told me that when he looked into why it got taken down, essentially they received some sort of a legal threat in the background. Marcos somehow was able to get this video reinstated by basically saying a TikTok was...
Meanwhile, Baldoni, once a secondary figure in this saga, now appears to be gaining traction, bolstered by a legal system that has demonstrated it won't blindly defer to celebrity influence. If Lively persists in this fight, industry insiders anticipate that more damaging testimonies, transcripts, or evidence could emerge. The leaked area manual audio may only be the beginning, with ongoing speculation that further communications between Lively, Reynolds, and key Hollywood power players could expose the full extent of their alleged behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Whether or not such material surfaces, the next hearing is poised to be a high-stakes showdown. With live audio coverage ensuring public scrutiny, the world will hear in real time the arguments over subpoenas, blacklisting accusations, and any last-ditch efforts by Lively's legal team to shift the narrative. And for now, the prevailing narrative is that Blake Lively has not only failed to substantiate claims
against Justin Baldoni and others in California claiming sexual harassment. She filed a complaint at first, not a lawsuit.
That she was the victim of a calculated smear campaign, but has instead become embroiled in accusations that she actively worked behind the scenes to undermine Baldoni's career. Compounding this are allegations that she misused the legal system, issuing sweeping subpoenas in an attempt to mine years of Baldoni's personal records for any material that could discredit him. The combination of her reported courtroom meltdown and the impending transparency of the live audio feed has only fueled the perception that her once pristine public image may never fully recover. If Lively had hoped that her star power would insulate her from judicial scrutiny, the unfolding events suggest the opposite. Rather than shielding her, the legal process has stripped away the carefully maintained façade, exposing her to deeper criticism and scrutiny than ever before, all in the same public spotlight she once effortlessly commanded.